Welcome to Raleigh Roots, a podcast about living, working, and raising a family in the Triangle. Join hosts Kate and Kathryn for lighthearted conversations, stories, and interviews about what it is really like to live here. Whether you're thinking about moving to the Triangle or have already planted roots here, tune in and listen on your favorite device. And now your hosts, Kate and Kathryn.
Welcome back to another episode of Raleigh Roots. I am Kate.
I am Kathryn.
And we have an exciting podcast for you today because we have our first guest coming in. Super exciting. She is a friend to both of us. So that's coming up in a little bit.
Yes, we are excited you're back. We hope you had an awesome 4th of July.
Safe 4th of July.
We are going to start our podcast off today a little differently. Instead of being wild and crazy, and we're going to give you a little bit of business insight. I am a mortgage lender, have been for a long time, and Kate is a real estate agent.
Yes.
We want to provide some insight on what's happening in the market in Raleigh, not just for people that are living in Raleigh, but also for people that are thinking about moving to North Carolina, the Triangle area. And you may not be in the mode of hearing about real estate and mortgage, and this may not be interesting, but you may know someone that needs some information.
Right.
And it's always good to know what's going on in the market. So we're going to start off with that. If it's boring, do not click the stop button.
We'll do short and sweet.
So a big question is, hey, what's going on in Raleigh? Is the market holding steady? What are the interest rates doing? Should I put my home on the market? Should I keep it? Should I do renovations? I'm going to start by just saying Raleigh and the Triangle is such a stable market in comparison to so many other states.
Yes.
So yes, we have seen a slowdown in the market over the last, 18 months, 24 months. However, we still have people moving and selling, and buying. And the rates over even the last couple of weeks, we've seen them dip down. Yes, they are not 3% anymore, and that's hard. However, rates in the 6s are still fantastic. Does it feel as good as 3.5? No. But are we going to see those days again? No.
Right.
I think our market, in my opinion, is going to always hold strong. And so when you're buying, think about it. You are investing in yourself and you're investing in your own wealth and what you can have for retirement, for your children to pass along. So in general, the rates in the last couple of have come down just a tad. So I would say mid to higher 6s on a 30-year fix. So anywhere from 6.625 to 6.875 is kind of an average. Predictions say that we might get to the lower 6s by the end of the year. So at least we are going in a positive direction for decrease in interest rate environment, and the volatility will hopefully settle down. I think inventory was somewhat of a challenge. Are you seeing that the inventory is picking up a little bit?
So we do have a lot more homes for sale overall, including the entire MLS. On the real estate side of things, we have noticed that a lot of people, I think, are kind of holding their breath to see if interest rates will dip a little bit more. There is some hesitation. There are more homes on the market now for buyers to go and shop, which has been great because it hasn't been that way. Depending on where you fall in your price range will definitely impact what the market looks like for you. But we do have more homes. The homes are sitting longer than they did last month or a year ago at this time, but nothing significant. I think the main thing is the expectation. Prepare that the home might not sell in a weekend. Prepare that your home might need a few updates and isn't going to be bought as is. The market has shifted some. It is not terrible. It's not scary. It's manageable, but it's different.
That's right. But overall, the Triangle and North Carolina as a whole is a great and safe place to invest. One more quick little tip. Anybody that currently owns their home, there's a lot of data coming out, and homeowners insurance companies are discussing insurance premiums are going to be increasing if they have not already. And so that's important for current people that own and people that are buying. Just keep a lookout on your homeowners insurance policy. Call your agent if you have questions, and just know if your mortgage payment or your escrow account changes, more than likely it's going to be to an increase in homeowners insurance. If you want to know anything specific in the real estate or mortgage market, send us a DM, drop us a little line. Of course, I guess some of my,
give us a call.
I am 150 years old. Send us a message or text us, call us, put a note somewhere. I don't know. Just get it to us and we will answer your questions. All right, you guys, we are switching it up. We have our very first guest. And I have to tell you, she is super special to me because I've known her for 30 years.
A long time.
Like 30
Yeah.
years. Well, I'm not
30
going to say
years.
that because it makes it sound like we're grandmas, but
Yeah.
we met in 1995.
5.
And we've got stories, but that is not why I asked her to be on the podcast today. We are going to introduce her. Her name is Stephanie Disbrow. I know her as Stephanie Chapel, and I don't know that I'll ever change that.
Right. Well, I call you Kathryn Wood also. I can never change
I
that.
don't have to say I love that. But we are wanting to bring something different to the table so you don't have to like stare at mug shots the whole time, right? You need a little spice in your life. So Stephanie started a business, and I just jumped in. Kate, you also know Stephanie. Tell the world how you know Stephanie.
I do. Stephanie and I play tennis together, so we're teammates.
Yeah, 10 years, I think.
You think so?
It's 8 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in that window.
Somewhere in that window. Yes, she is a sorority sister of Katherine's, a teammate of mine, and a friend to both of us.
We were sorority sisters at East Carolina and had the best 4 years ever.
We did.
And then we continued our friendship here in Raleigh, and we've been great for each other through different transitions in life. And this most recent thing that Stephanie has done, we both have enjoyed, and she has started a business, and it's called the Gypsy Yogi. So tell us, Stephanie, welcome, and thanks for
Yeah,
being our
thank you
first
for
guest.
having me.
Give us scoop.
All right. I'll try to do a shortened version because I could talk all day. It started back in about 7 or 8 years ago. Not the Gypsy Yogi, but the concept of, having a party for someone and not just eating and drinking. Although I love to eat and drink, but it felt like there was something missing from the parties I would put on for my friends. So I was having a 40th birthday party for Emily Creech. She's a good friend of mine, yes. And we were going to do champagne and lunch on my back patio, and I just wanted something else. So I hired Justin Ann. She's a yoga instructor. She's actually moved to Winston-Salem, but she worked at Indigo for years.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
She was my favorite instructor in Raleigh, and she came to the house and did a yoga session for us. So we did that first, and then sort of gave ourselves the gift of fitness and community being together, doing something together. And then we celebrated with champagne and food. So that was sort of the spark of, eating, drinking, partying with a twist, and no pun intended there, of a yoga class before or after.
And who doesn't want to have champagne and snacks after you exercise?
Right.
Duh.
Right.
So did you have your license to teach then? Or
No, so I wasn't teaching then. I was
Okay.
just practicing yoga since 2008. And it's always been near and dear to me for multiple reasons over the last, 17 years. Every year there's a different reason why I practice yoga, or every couple of years. So I wasn't teaching then. I was hiring instructors to come to my home and do a class or whatnot. So fast forward, and then in 2022, I started my teaching.
Yes.
Yoga teacher training. I graduated in 2023 and did what most people do after you graduate, which is, what am I supposed to do now? I'm not capable of teaching. So then I did the HPW real estate class, and I passed that exam. That's a big deal
That's
for
a big
me.
deal.
But then I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do that either. I got a couple of jobs around town, and then I just wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to go back to that original thought back with Emily Creech's birthday party of doing parties and twisting in yoga.
And I'm going to toot your horn for that because I held a business function with Stephanie, and I invited a bunch of my real estate referral partners. And let me just explain. You will feel like you are in a resort. You are, and I know you don't want to toot your horn, but I am going to do that for you because it is 100% true.
Yes.
Her home is gorgeous, but the setup that she has for this class, you look out the back of her home and these doors open and you've got this gorgeous pool with waterfall. It's serene. It's calming. The way that she does her class it takes a lot for, obviously for me to be quiet and to settle down and to not laugh. And I actually relaxed and I left there, and it is a workout. Like, let's not tease anyone that you're laying there and, stretching one arm, and you are getting a full workout in an amazing environment. And she's good. And I'm not just saying that. Believe me.
Thank you for saying.
You are. And so if you are in Raleigh, this is something you should check out. Your kids can do it. You can host work events. But before we get into the whole advertising thing, I have a few questions.
Let's go.
So I do want to know, what is something funny ever happened in class? Has anybody ever tooted?
No, but I've been in classes, not teaching, when people have tooted.
And 100% happen.
Oh, for sure. They teach you about that. I want to how to handle that. As Kathryn said, my classes are held outside in a space at my home. So it's the great outdoors, and I have animals, and I used to let my kitty wander about during classes, and he's a great hunter. His name is Kitty. And he brought a dead rabbit back to the class and set it beside Gwen Thayer. And luckily she was not, she's an animal person, I guess, but it was
No,
hot.
I love
the way you have to handle that, it was a lot.
You know me, I love you, and we'd be real good friends.
Yeah.
But if a dead rat came,
Rabbit, yeah, it was.
That would break
My
me down.
downward dog would be tied to some sort of I don't know.
Gwen didn't
Wonder
even say
why.
anything. She was so stunned, and then we looked over. We were like, "Oh my god!" You just have to go pick the dead rabbit up like it's not one.
Okay, well that's a pretty funny story, but, right? And so,
I have one more.
tell.
Okay, so my neighbor across the street. Is it okay for me to say names like this?
Yeah.
Amy Robinson. We're in the middle of the class. Her black lab, Gabe, got out, and my door had been cracked from people coming into class, and he busted through the front door in the middle of practice. My big sliders were open, and he jumped in the pool, took a swim, and then ran back through the class completely wet.
Oh
And
my
Amy's
God.
jumping and screaming, and this was in the beginning stage of the Gypsy Yogi,
love it.
the summer of 2024, so last summer. But that was pretty traumatizing, and I just kept rolling
my
with it. I
gosh.
acted like it didn't even happen.
And y'all, that is what's good about Stephanie. You do just roll with it, and you're not ever shocked.
Yeah,
which is good.
I was shocked.
But you didn't
Let on to
show-
that. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so for someone that's only taken a few yoga classes, now, Kate, you used to teach yoga too.
Did. So Stephanie and I have parallel kind of lives where I did yoga training in 2010 and then got my real estate license in 2018
Yep.
and stopped teaching and did real estate.
Well, they're pros. If you want to go to a class and you're nervous or you've never done it, just text me. I'll go with you, and you'll look like a pro. I promise. So tell me, how does yoga fit in for someone that is looking for, of course, relaxation, which is what a lot of people think, but wellness and flexibility, especially for middle-aged women? Tell me the benefits of it and how that, improves someone's life.
Yeah, well, I'll start with that is precisely why the Gypsy Yogi became a thing. I was going to yoga studios in Raleigh, which I love. All of our studios. We're very blessed. We have amazing studios, amazing instructors. But I kept feeling like, I'd go with a couple of my girlfriends. We're in our mid to late 40s, and I kept feeling like I was the oldest one there, which is wonderful because I love to see the 20s and 30s practicing. I wish it would have been around in my 20s to practice. Anyway, so I created the Gypsy Yogi for what I felt like was this space missing in Raleigh. There's the silver sneakers for 70 plus, and then there's this group of us, like 40 to 70. I actually have a 76-year-old Gypsy Yogi. Yes, I love her.
Nice.
Shout out to Gail.
I
She's
love
amazing.
that.
She moves as beautifully as everyone in the class. It's great. But anyway, there was this window of this age group of people that I feel like maybe just didn't have a place to go and find comfort. Birds of a feather, where the instructor was the same age and the instructor also wasn't moving as fluidly as, say, a 20-year-old teacher. And so that's why I created this, to give people that had some trepidation around yoga, go into a studio, a safe place to come. And I know there's no judgment in any studio, but this truly, we're all kind of the same in there. It just feels good. And then it brings community with all these people of the same age, between 40 and 76. It allows people to create more of a friendship I feel like in my space, because of, being at home. The second you walk through the door, we're building trust. I'm trusting you to come into my home. You're trusting me to come into my home, sort of thing. So what does it do for me? Why do we do yoga? Why do we practice yoga? It's different for everybody, but it gives me 60 minutes to maybe not have this in my hand. And that's for real. This is always in my hand. If you think about what's inside your body, you've got all these organs, and then you think about your twisting. What are you doing when you're twisting and moving your body around rather than just sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day? It's detox, It's like moving.
Oh boy, I need some detox.
Yes. We all do.
Right.
We all do.
Just bending. If we're not bending and stretching now, we're not going to be able to move in our 70s. And Gail Kuntz, my oldest Gypsy Yogi, she's living proof. I mean, she celebrated her 76th birthday in a class. And I mean, she just moves with ease. And my mom is 76 and they don't move with ease.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. She's been into fitness all her life and then into yoga. So I think it just helps us age.
It does. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up with a funny story about Stephanie and I. And I tell everybody
Is it the
this.
sorority house story?
So we lived in the sorority house our sophomore year at ECU.
We shared a bathroom with 10 girls. Do you
That's right.
realize this?
Yeah.
Somehow it was never a problem. I don't know.
10?
10, and that's how we say.
And 9 of the girls were normal and wanted privacy. The 10th person was like, come talk to me on board, which was new. I'd leave the doors open. They'd be like, Kathryn. I'm like, get in here and talk to me. So I was a dance minor at ECU. I think you wouldn't know that. Yeah. And that year I was taking a tap class. Stephanie had an exam. Let's just say it was a Thursday. On Wednesday night, I decided to go out with some friends. And when I got home, say it was after midnight, maybe 2 or 3. Yes. We had a slate foyer. So I decided to go get my tap shoes at 3 a.m. and entertain the sorority house. And there was only one other sorority sister awake.
Steph?
I was woken.
She was actually asleep for her exam.
By 8 a.m. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
yeah.
School
I
very
know.
seriously.
So I come in, I'm like, flap will change, triple, whatever. And I thought I was so cute. And the girl with me thought I was really cute too.
Yeah.
And so Stephanie comes out of her room and she's like, I have an exam. And I was like, don't you want to watch me tap some more? So she was not happy and I don't blame her. But thankfully we were good enough friends. The next morning, because this one right here is sharp and witty and we can give each other back and forth like crazy. So my bed back up to this door that it was not functional, but there was an old timey phone on the other side of the door that I could not get to.
Okay.
She went to another phone line in the house on the 3rd floor, held the phone number that like 6 a.m. of the phone that was beside my head, but on the other side of the door, took it off and let that ring for like, in my mind, an hour because I did not feel great.
But we just
So
really dated
good.
ourselves.
We did.
Talking about the phone that hooks into the wall.
And it was
anyway.
when I was saying old timey phone, it had the actual
yeah.
The rotary.
It was old-timey.
yeah. And she let that sucker ring, and I was
did.
like, who is calling this house at 6 a.m. and letting it ring 1,000 times? And of course, I walk out, and Stephanie was like,
Good morning. Rise and shine.
And I was like, oh, you got me back.
God,
sister.
that house. Yeah.
So a couple questions
Yeah.
about Raleigh.
Okay.
The first one is, are you from here?
I'm not from Raleigh.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from central southern Virginia. It's just about 90 miles over the North Carolina, Virginia line, which is hence the accent. Very small town, farming town. But I went to East Carolina and I moved from Greenville to Raleigh in 99.
Okay, so you've been
98.
here a while.
98. Yeah. Yeah, I've been here. I feel like I'm a native, but
Yes.
I'm not.
What would be your favorite part about living in Raleigh?
I really like the greenways. I think we're blessed with our greenways. They go on and on. 20 plus miles in one day on the greenways. And so that I really like I call it a cowboy town.
Okay.
I don't know why I say that, but I'm always like, Charlotte's like this big city and Raleigh's this little cowboy town. But I need to figure out why I'm saying that.
Is it because you're sitting beside someone from Johnson County?
No, I don't know. It just feels warm and cozy. It's a city, but it feels inviting and everybody's friendly. It looks so cool.
Very true.
Yeah.
And is there something that Raleigh does not have that you wish we did?
More shopping, more brick and mortar,
Okay.
like high end shopping. I
Yeah.
think we could handle that. I can't figure out why it's not here. Like we had a Chanel come into North Hills Shopping Center, but it's just perfume and makeup maybe.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't have brought a real boutique in, like a Louis Vuitton. And I don't even wear this stuff. I just think Raleigh is growing so much that we could handle it. I'm very grateful that Restoration Hardware came in.
And if you haven't been, it's in North Hills. And
Okay.
it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the restaurant is gorgeous too.
Rooftop.
Inside and outside seating. It's really pretty.
Yeah. So I guess more shopping.
Okay. Stephanie, thanks for coming. Our very first guest.
Thank you for having me,
Oh my
y'all.
God, you're awesome. If you want to hear more like inside scoop stories, reach out to us separately, but definitely check out the Gypsy Yogi. You'll
Yes.
love it. And maybe we'll do an event there and we'll have some coverage and do like another
That would be
session
so
later.
fun. Yeah.
And then you can see my beautiful downward dog, which is gorgeous.
She does amazing.
She does.
So yeah,
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks,
Yeah,
Steph.
thanks, y'all.
That's it for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed listening all about the Gypsy Yogi. We have linked her site into our notes. And if you have enjoyed the episode, give us a like, a follow, and bring a friend next time.
and always stay rooted and a little reckless. Thanks for joining, y'all. Bye.